Okay, Gemini. Let me show you the spread really quick. I just use a little handheld digital camera, and then I don't have a tripod, so that's why I do the cards the way I do. But I wanted to show you guys, in my Thoth deck, there's a booklet. The booklet in there has this is one of the spreads. It's called the Magic Triangle, or the Magical Triangle. And so I'm using that for all the signs for this month, just to do it a little different. And we love triangles, so the first three cards here, that's the current situation. Okay. These two, 4 and 5, that's how the situation evolves and transforms. And the final 6th card, that's the final outcome. So it seems like the Geminians are working on a little something, manifesting a little something, but had to do perhaps some soul work, soul clearing, energy clearing type stuff before coming into the King of Pentacles that you have crowning the reading. So at the bottom of the deck, we have the Death card. Okay. And this is like the phoenix rising up from the ashes and being purified by the flames and being renewed. So death represents new life. It represents transformation. And it represents a little bit of what I'll call, and because I was writing this down, I think this morning or last night, with the energies that I was feeling, is a little bit of spiritual boot camp going on, kind of for everyone. Maybe the Geminis are feeling it a little bit more, because you have the Tower and the Death card. So, and what did you have on the next? Oh, you have the 10 of Pentacles as the next top card. Sometimes I take a peek at that, and if it's good, I'll share it. But so, you know, death, that's a good thing. In order to transform, you have to die the self. So, and it's not killing it, okay? It's letting it die. So all the things that are parasitic characteristics that aren't a part of your authenticity, it's time for them to go. So the spiritual boot camp, you know, because the Death card is major arcana, and you have the Tower and how it transforms. So clearing things out of your life that no longer serve you, clearing stuff out of yourself that no longer serves you. Because you want to be the King of Pentacles, or you are the King of Pentacles. In order to get to that status, you have to be in your heart space, you have to be balanced, you have to have mind, body, spirit unity in order to bring spirit into form and work with the forces of nature, natural and spiritual law. You have to make sure that you don't have any like dark energies just trying to distract you, trying to complicate things for you. When that stuff happens, say thank you, devil, thank you, demons. Right? It's just an opportunity for me to prove to myself how strong I am, okay, and what clear vision I have of what I want to manifest. And even though this is the King of Pentacles, whenever I say a king or queen, unless there's more than one, or a king and a queen, it usually just represents the person that I'm reading for. And you have a King of Pentacles, so you know, he has the Midas touch. He's like the magician, in the way that he has perfected the pentacle. He's perfected the earthly element. Okay, so he knows how to bring spirit into form. He sees that as above, so below. So you harness that ether and you bring it down here in the 3D plane and bring it to life into a tangible element. And you know the Midas touch, whatever you touch turns to gold. But in order to, you know, there's a lot of green, and green is very healing. That's the color of the heart chakra. Archangel Raphael is associated with that. Excuse me. So, yeah, so you're bringing spirit into form and using that gift that you have to bring forth what you want. Maybe you had to do a little bit of, you know, some transforming, just a little bit of getting mind, body, spirit into alignment. Getting to a point where you have a nice clean slate, a blank canvas now in order to manifest exactly what you want to bring forth and blossom into your life. And oh right, also with the Eight of Cups. So yeah, I saw the Eight of Cups, Death, and then the Tower. So you're doing what you need to do, walking away from what you need to walk away from on your own accord, and then also listening to spirit. So you're bringing all these elements into place in order to move you along on your path and get you pointed in the right direction. And it looks like you're doing that because you have the Eight of Cups. So this is your personal choice, okay? It's not necessarily, you know, kind of, spirit can be a little dogmatic, if you will, but they always have your best interest, you know, at heart. So, but this is you because it's just a suit, the Eight of Cups. This is you choosing to walk away, okay? And in some decks it's like, it's indolence. It's walking away from something that does have a certain level of success. So the Eight of Cups is not an easy thing to do because there are elements that still appeal to you, that make you feel good, or what, but you know that it's not serving your highest good anymore. Maybe, you know, you've raised your vibration to a certain level to where those things in the 3D that might have satiated a certain aspect of you no longer do that, because that aspect perhaps has just shrunk, and the higher aspects of yourself have grown. So even though it's hard, it's difficult, it's tempting to want to stay, but you're doing the right thing and staying strong and walking away from that because you want to be completely fulfilled. And whatever it is, the situation, the people, the whatever, that's not doing that for you. And you know that you have to, you know, do that for yourself, being fulfilled. So sometimes it's bringing something into form, like the King of Pentacles, okay? Sometimes it's walking away. And then you have the Hermit. So the current situation, King of Pentacles, Eight of Cups, and the Hermit. So crowning is the King of Pentacles. So I think this is where you want to go, or this is where you've ended up from doing all this work, because ultimately you end up with the world as the final outcome. So, and the Hermit, you know, sheds the worldliness and goes within and self-reflects and delves into the endless abyss of the self and goes spelunking into himself and illuminates with his lantern and sees every string of every cobweb, okay? And he does the work alone, working with spirit, and it's Hermit, it's major arcana. So, and the Hermit can represent Virgo. The Death card can represent Scorpio. But, I mean, I think this is you because of all the cards and combinations. This is what you're doing. And as part of the Tower and Death card, the Hermit just falls right into line, right into place with that, right into alignment with that. So, and then when he comes out of self-induced isolation, but you're working with spirit, remember, because it's major arcana. So, but you always have free will to not follow spirit, okay? So there is an element of, you know, you participating and cooperating with spirit, and you want that fulfillment. You want to be the King of Pentacles and be a master manifester. So this is getting in the stillness and the silence. And all this water down here, there's no footprints of the people who have walked the path prior. So there's no signs pointing the way. There's no guidebook. There's no... you have to find your own direction. And that can be very difficult to do when we're distracted by the world. And so that's why, you know, it's called the hermit. In order to do that, you have to hermitize. You need to get in the stillness and silence, and you know, it's not easy to be alone, boring and lonely, and you know, it's hard to take a look at ourselves. But because of the Eight of Cups, you're walking away. You want to be fulfilled. That's why you're walking away, and you're going within. So you can figure out what it is you really want to strive towards, what it is that's really going to fulfill you and make you feel like you have a nice, well-rounded life. And how the situation transforms, you have the Tower and the Five of Swords. And the Five of Swords, you know, fives are conflict, okay, so, and it's swords, so it could be inner conflict, inner turmoil, mental anguish. So there might be a little bit of inner dialogue happening with you, Gemini, where you might be questioning if this is what you really want. But that's good. It's a healthy thing. You have a dialogue with yourself, because then, I mean, even if you want to write it down on paper or record yourself talking, whatever, just so that you can just get it out. You know, because Five of Swords, you could be stuck in your head going round and round with yourself, and get, you know, stuck in a loop kind of. And fives, you know, obstacles are opportunities for growth. So, you know, fear is there for a reason, our ego's there for a reason, but only allow it to do the task that it needs to do, and then when it's done with that job, we move on. You know, the ego says, hey, maybe you should go to the bathroom so you don't pee your pants and embarrass yourself. Or, you know, ego is not there to, like, say I'm better than you, and, you know, so this is what the Five of Swords is, you know, maybe a little bit of struggle internally in your mind, trying to figure out how to go forward and be your true authentic self, and not let the outside world, you know, the hermit doesn't let that, he sheds the worldliness in order to go find the clarity that he needs. And so you have to have that inner dialogue. You have to see it for what it is. This obstacle that has presented itself isn't there for you to just keep going round and round and suffer and, you know, have torment. It's there to help propel you forward. And before that, though, we have the Tower. So you're going within, you're walking away from the things that no longer serve you. This process of death and rebirth, so a cycle has come to an end and you have a new beginning, and the Tower has leveled the playing field. The golden light comes down and burns all the stuff of the Tower that isn't supposed to, is not part of the structural integrity. Okay, it's got to go. And then you have the purifying violet flame from the thunder here, pure electric, okay, and then the golden light of God. So it's purifying and removing and taking away all the stuff that isn't going to enhance your life, but it doesn't burn everything. You see, certain things are caught on fire, like all these little clocks, okay, so that can represent, you know, we're only here for a limited amount of time. So as humans, we can think, oh, you know, it's not going to happen to me, I'm going to live forever. But I mean, but really we need to think rationally and logically sometimes. You know, it's important to be in your heart space, but you need to have that psycho-emotional balance, okay? So your head and your heart do need to communicate, because your ego is in your mind, and It's there to protect your heart, make sure people don't vampire you and take advantage of you, or dark energies influencing you to do stuff that's not aligned with your true authentic self, which is your higher self. But even though it might be a struggle that you're going through, or just about to go through, or just got done going through, whatever it is, whether it was financial in the love department, or just personal, healing the inner child work, the shadow work, it ultimately ends up, and it always ends up good. If you do the work, it ends up good, because you're doing things according to your greatest good, okay? And that's what serves the God grain flow and the highest good of all. So you're going with the God grain. You get to see results of that through it manifesting in the 3D world, on the 3D plane, tangibility, proof and evidence, okay? Confirmation that you're on the right track. And so you have the King of Pentacles crowning, and then ultimately how it, the final outcome is the World. And that's 21. It's the last major arcana of the major arcanas. And that reduces to a 3. And 3 can represent the spiritual path, the Christ consciousness. So that's what I mean with, the King of Pentacles. He's very heart-centered, okay? And that's where your authenticity lies, is in your heart. And when you're coming from the energy of love and abundance and gratitude, the world opens up to you. And it may not even necessarily mean that more stuff, people, love, or whatever come into your life, but you open your eyes to see all the abundance that you already have. So, and that can be like Christmas, seeing what you already have and being grateful for that, and having that sense of wholeness and completion. Because when things get stressful, we say love and light, stay in your heart space, but it can be hard to do that. It can be difficult. So give yourself a pat on the back, Gemini, because it looks like you've, and maybe this has been going on for a while, because it's kind of spread out, the Tower here and the Hermit here, and then Five of Swords here, and so this might be something that either goes way back or might have been going on for a while. But just rest assured that trials and tribulations aren't just there so that you can suffer and then they just keep going and just everything just all for naught. No, it's to propel you forward. It's to wake you up a little bit so that you can see the wonderful bounty that already exists for you. And infinite possibilities. That's what the World represents to me. It's just, she's gazing into this crystal ball, okay? And she just sees everything in there, anything she wants. It's a pure clear crystal ball, okay? There's no images in there. It's only what she perceives. So whatever you see in your mind's eye, you can bring forth. Okay, but it has to be from a place of wholeness. And in order to get there and align with self and spirit, sometimes, we have to go through some rough stuff. And I've been through a lot too, and I've done this and I know it's not easy. Oh gosh. And it's kind of that's just part of life. It's kind of an ongoing process. We're like up at the top and then come right back down, up at the top. So life is cyclical, and we have to remember that. And when you're on the high peak, don't get too attached to that. And same with when you're down in the trenches and you feel down in the dumps. Don't be attached to that either. Know that things are always changing and evolving. And you go up a level, you do a cycle, you go up a level. It's like Pac-Man, you master that level, but then it gets harder and faster, and then there's more ghosts on your and I've made this reference plenty of times, because it's like that's what life is. It's like it starts off just for what you can handle because it's all brand new, but you master those 3 games, you move up the next level. Now you have less time to eat more ghosts, and they're moving faster and they're more vicious, because as you grow and ascend, dark energies take notice, okay? And they know they only have a limited amount of time, and they're working overtime right now, and I know that in my own life. So just be aware that that's what's going on, and that when, you know, things can be stressful and people can lash out at you, just remember that when you're in a low vibration, you're susceptible to influence, okay? And the only people that want to influence and control you are dark energies. God gave you free will. He wants you to just love yourself and enjoy your life. So only the darkness is controlling, manipulative, oppressive. So when you feel that stuff, know that it's not you. And even if it's coming from another person, it's not their true, authentic self. That's not their heart. So that's why I always say, if you maintain that high vibration, you're not susceptible to that influence. That's very important to you. I see that all the work that you've been doing, or are currently doing, or are willing to do, you know, because the 8 of Cups, you're walking away from something, okay, because you have some sense of not being fulfilled, and you really want to, and you can, you know, the world's your oyster, and you're the master manifester of the King of Pentacles, and you can create for yourself whatever you want, as long as you're coming from the highest of vibration, heart-centered consciousness of abundance and not lack. Then you'll have that high vibration, and when any negativity comes at you, you know why, okay? Because it's like what is it? Heaviest is the head that wears the crown, or something like that. So it's like, yeah, you might be beauty queen and got the crown, but then you can be subjected to a lot of ridicule and people being jealous and of that low vibrational stuff, you know. So heaviest is the head that wears the crown. So just remember that, like, it's a lot of responsibility to maintain that high vibration and be worthy of that crown, and you're worthy of it. So know that, and that will help you maintain that high vibration. Whenever thoughts of doubt come in, just say, demons, come out! It's like Tony Robbins in, what's that movie with Jack Black, Shallow Hal, you know? Tony Robbins, look how successful he is, and for a reason, because he knows all about dark energies trying to influence you and get in your head and try to get you out of your heart space and into ego and fear, and then you get Svengali, manipulated, controlled, and you know, puppeteered. So know that God is good and always provides. The universe wants to give, okay? Gaia wants to give, nourish, sustain, elevate you. So know that you do have support, protection, promotion from God, Gaia, the cosmos, whatever you want to call it. Amitabha, Amitabha is the etheric Buddha, okay, from which all other Buddhas and Bodhisattvas tap into. So know that you have invisible energies that you can't even see working with you, okay? And then you also have tangible things that you can see working with you. And there's always things working against us that we can see and not see, but you're aware of that. And you're doing the work to make sure that you maintain that clarity, that precision of clarity of self, and just how everything correlates and interplays. So you and the world, okay, you and the universe, you and the angels, you and God, you're co-creating. whatever it is you want. And if it's not according to your highest good, then you won't get it, you know. So you pretty much can try for whatever you want. But just remember that maintain that high vibration, okay? And that's where you have the most precise clarity, is when you're maintaining that high vibration and staying in your heart center. Because love is the cure-all. Love heals all. Love is the answer. Love is the only thing that is actual that I know. And I have faith in that like fact. So, Gemini, you can tend to see things as black and white. So I think you have a pretty clear vision of what's aligned with you and what's not aligned with you. And you're going with the God grain flow. So kudos, Gemini. I think that's beautiful and brilliant. And keep that good head on your shoulders working for you. Make it work for you. And ultimately, you got the world at the end. You know, so gaze into that crystal ball and bring forth your dreams from spirit, from 5D into 3D, from spirit into form. And that's the way it flows. From spirit to form. Alright, Gemini. Hang in there. You know, it's going to be okay. And you probably already know that. You're already seeing evidence of that, okay? So good stuff. And the last 3, I meant to do more the last couple of days. I only got out one when I did Virgo. I think that was the only one I got out that day. Because I was in excruciating pain last night. My sides started hurting like I had an ulcer or hernia or something. Oh my god, it was so bad, like I had to lay down. I was sweating. I almost vomited. Sorry, TMI, but it's like so I don't like to do readings if I'm in pain, just to get it done, you know. So because I want my energy to be neutral so that you can, you know, get the messages. So and I'm a single mom and doing this all by myself, you know, everything all on my own. So with the support of the universe. So you know, sometimes things can take me a little bit longer. But that's why, because I don't want to interject any of my personal energies into the reading. So I like to do it when I'm in a good neutral energy phase. So your second to last in Aries is going to be last. I was going by view count. I started with the birthday, and then I thought I'd change it up a little bit, and but it ended up, I think you were last again, you and Aries. So I'm going to do it in the reverse. So I'm going to take the same list that I had from the view count from last month and then just flip it. So Aries will be first, and then you, and then Capricorn, and so on. So that's why they're a little bit late, because I went by view count, and it's not working out, because I don't want one sign to always be the last one, because I love all my, everybody, all sentient beings. So, alright, Gemini, be expecting your September reading to be one of the first ones. It'll actually be the second one. So, and I'll try to get those out. I like to do it the third week, get them all up by the third week. But you know, life happens. So, and I think you know that from the reading. You know, life happens, and you're not letting it break your stride, right? Nobody gonna break my stride. Nobody gonna hold me down. Oh no, got to keep on moving. Hopefully that's not too old of a reference for anybody, but that's what came into me. So I think that's like your theme song for August, okay? Have a beautiful, lovely August. You're strong. You can do this, Gemini, whatever it is, big or small. You got gem balls. You got gems for balls. So, and you have, Gemini is one of the most clear thinking signs that and a very balanced, okay? They see things as what hurts and what helps. So what hurts is bad, what helps is good. And Gemini has that perception of childlike view, of seeing things very clear like that. So again, have a happy August. I will see you first thing for September. You will be the second reading, okay? And I love you all. Enjoy August. Try to enjoy it as much as possible and know that all things pass, okay? Good and bad. Just keep on moving, right? We're part of the flow. And I love you all, and blessings to you all. All those Geminis out there, okay? You got them balls. Use them.